learning about standard deviation. Can everyone say that with me? 1, 2, 3. Standard deviation! Could use a bit of work, but we'll get there. Let's get started. There are 3 crucial points you should know about standard deviation. First, what is a standard deviation after all? What is it? It is a measure of the variability of the data set intended to get the standard typical distance from the mean. The reason that this is so incredibly fundamental is because with the standard deviation, you can see just how clumped together or spread out a distribution may be. Now, let's calculate the standard deviation. Let's try it out on our last test scores. So here are our scores from the last test, and remember it was out of a total of 80. So if we add all of these up and divide by 10, we will get a mean of 70, no, that's not true, 54.5. So now that we have our mean, we are going to take individual deviations. So to do that, we subtract the mean from each of these numbers to get these numbers. The next step to get the sum of squares is you will do the individual deviations and square them to get all these blue numbers. And remember, when you square a negative number, it becomes positive. So that's why these are all positive. And then, remember, sum of squares, you add all these up to get the grand total of 5,138.5. So now that we have our sum of squares, we need to divide by the degrees of freedom, which is n minus 1. Now remember, our n is 10. So we're going to do n minus 1, which is 9. So once we do 5,138.5 divided by 9, we get 570.94. Beautiful. Okay, so now... Beautiful. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we need to square root that number to get a standard deviation. So that number is going to be 23.89. Get it? Okay, so the third little tidbit I want you all to know about the standard deviation is that you can use it to find z-scores. Z-scores compare scores in relative locations from different distributions. You can also use z-scores to create a new scale, identify outliers, and obtain percentiles. Now, are you ready to try this out? Yeah! I love your enthusiasm. I have split your scores from the previous exam into those who wore their lucky socks and to those who did not wear their lucky socks. There were 5 of each. Okay, so you remember from our last example how to find the mean and standard deviation? So, for this first one, the mean is 74.8. And the standard deviation is 3.96. Now for the second, the ones without socks, the mean is 34.2. And the standard deviation is 15.45. So now we have our formula for z-scores. So this formula is z equals x minus n, remember those individual deviations, over the standard deviation, which we already found. So if you just can calculate that on your own, I trust you all, I believe in you, you can find these lovely z-scores. So here are all the z-scores. Ta-da! Okay, so now you know some really pivotal points about standard deviation. Woo!
Shake that.